Great, okay. Um, my name is Hanno Tietgens, and next to me is Dr. Thorsten Reiners from the University of Hamburg. Welcome to the Campus Hamburg in Second Life, a project we started about 3 months ago, bringing together various people from the Hamburg University scene. We want to give you just a short impression of what we're about to start here. As I said, we've just started a few months ago. And then Thorsten will give you a little longer, like 10, 15 minutes or so, an introduction into his project, Students at Work, and what he's actually doing with his project on the Campus Hamburg. Quite fascinating. You know, Hamburg is one of the large port cities in the world, and he's working in container logistics. And that's one of the projects he's taken to Second Life, but he'll tell you all about this later. We would just like to give you a very short impression of the Campus Hamburg project as far as it is right now. Olli, Exxon Emoto, my avatar, welcomes you to the Audimax. This is the central lecture hall we've built. We've built it totally different from the classical lecture or Audimax you have in the university. It's like, pull up the camera, that's great, okay. The whole thing is like a little, we picked up on the basic idea of the Second Life islands and have several project islands here combined on one sim, and everything is grouped around the central stage with all sorts of presentation stuff, you know all that. Even though the project has only been a few months old, already we've had quite a few seminars with one group from the Hamburg University active in sports events with professors from all over the world, literally. We've had people from other cities in Germany, but we've also had professors from Milan, Italy, right, and even from New Zealand, who are all active in the universiade or university sports field. Maybe I may fly ahead to one or two of the departments that are opening presences here. And Ollie, maybe you want to follow us?
Maybe it would be best if you use the car. I think you've got one of my cars, right? If you just res it and then you can take us there, so we don't have to worry about following.
Well, it's not so big here. Maybe you take the car and I just fly ahead. How's about that?
No, but the whole point of it is to stay together. But
okay, I can't see the car though.
No, your car. I'm sure I've given you one.
Ich habe keine.
There's always that.
Just follow the dot.
Nö, macht nichts. Send a TP.
See, that works.
Da ist er doch, wunderbar. Great, so this works. Cool. This is like the home camp for those sports event students. There are about 30 students. They have been working all the winter semester together. All of them have taken up on Second Life. They've all built their own avatars and started to collaborate here. They used this space to prepare for their actual teaching sessions in Second Life. They have the professors introduce themselves and their topics with podcasting and all this sort of stuff. So basically what we're doing here at this stage is conferencing. As we're in a live conference here right now, this is not so exciting, so we'll just give you an impression of one or two other things just starting here. The interesting thing for Germany is, from all we know, this is the first time that we have Second Life studies, but it's for first life degrees. What the students have been doing here for most of the winter is they've met 6 or 8 times, once a week, in Second Life. They've also had meetings in real life, but what they're doing in Second Life is only happening here, and is really meant to bring international expertise and professors to them, which elsewise they just could not approach or be in contact with. We'll just fly over one of those to one of those other smaller sims. This is just starting to build. Ollie, can you follow me? Oh yes, there you are, great. Here, the Hamburg School of Business Administration is starting a sim where they'll do something totally different. They'll do experiments in mentoring. What they'll do is they'll use the anonymity of the avatar to really get immediate and direct contact between the university professors and the management and the students, to really get open and unfiltered feedback and stuff like that. Whereas the project we've seen before, the sports events people, they all know each other. Sometimes they work together in the computer room of the university. Here it's on the contrary, we'll have anonymous avatars to really accompany actually the living situation, the studying situation of the students, to make use of this side of Second Life. And now we'll fly to the other side of the sim, southwest. Ollie, please follow me again. And we'll approach Thorsten's project, and I'll hand over the headset and the microphone to him when we get over to the container terminal he's building there with his students, and it's all user-generated.
Hi, it's Thorsten Reiners, and my avatar is Tyke Macmillan, but I'm currently on the other island, so I will fly with Exxon through the project. The idea here is that we have a totally student-operated area where students build projects as they like, and with the idea that they bring things to life that is normally not visible to them. So here in Hamburg, we have a strong connection to the harbor, so we decided to build a container terminal showing all the processes, which is normally not possible to see, as we can't just go to a container terminal. Currently, you see a ship there, and the project started like 2 months ago, so we are just building up the whole area. Most scripts are 50% done, but with a short notice today, we didn't initiate all of them. So you see like a van carrier, it's a car that transports a container, driving around in weird circles, and you see like some loading processes at the ship. The idea is not to stop here with modeling some area, but also connect it with real life, which means that on one side is the connection to the real life, where we input the results from optimization algorithms. So basically, the idea is that we have in class the mathematic that is behind all the processes mapped or transferred to the Second Life area where the processes actually are shown. The next idea we have is to have the processes or different projects interconnected. So now we have a container terminal area. The next thing is that we have also a simulation for a supply chain. And while Ollie is showing that, we kind of want the students to be within the container terminal during the lecture. So basically you sit below the terminal and can see how the containers are transported, which one is selected next for loading to the ship or the vessel. So the idea is to interconnect projects. So we have another project where we map a supply chain to show interesting artifacts like bullwhip effect in small scenario. So containers are transported with a truck into the second level where we have a small warehouse. And with the next extension, there will also be a manufacturer. So we show the supply chain processes, including all the mathematics shown on slides above the platform. So while the students look at the scenario, they will also see the theoretical background. And on the second level in the corner, we have a pharmacy. We don't know why we chose really the pharmacy, but it was the first choice. And we use the pharmacy to demonstrate queuing algorithms in the area of simulation. So what we are doing there, and that's probably the project that is the furthest currently, you can start the algorithm by opening the door. Customers come in, and we have different strategies how the customers are served with several people behind the counter. And all the results, like the mathematics, is shown in numbers and graphs, dynamic graphs. So basically, it's like what you normally have on slides, you get here in real life.
Okay.
Can you fly up a little bit?
Say again?
Can you fly up one floor? Currently, you are below the container terminal.
We were, but we're now above it.
Okay, so it's
We'll try and be on the same level as you.
Perfect. And so you see like two students already working there. That's two of my students. So the next project is, with the three scenarios, the next one is building or demonstrating business process with a focus of interwork processes, business processes. So we have another idea of steel manufacturing, like you get the steel and you get certain orders for steel plates of different width or certain measurements. So there's like a whole process that has to be mapped there. So that will be built within the next month in parallel to the other projects. And there we also want to have the interconnection with I'm not sure if there will try to have the other processes or the other projects involved, as the supply chain will include pick up from parts, and we will here you see currently, I hope it's the same when I say it, like you see like queuing examples. So the idea is with the interworld process that we connect to the real world. All the information is gathered in the real world with Java applets, and the whole process is executed in Second Life, and the results will then shown in the classroom again. So that is the idea, to interconnect both worlds in the classroom. In the next semester, for example, we have a class that takes part in the real world and in Second Life about virtual worlds and business processes in the field of production and logistics. We will visit several sites with production themes. We will continue our work here, demonstrate that in the classroom, and also demonstrate that we initiate a process in the classroom with a Java applet, not even Second Life, and at the end of the class, the results coming from or produced in Second Life, like the product, will be delivered in sense it's available in the shop for delivery, will show up at the end of the class. So that's the idea.
Okay.
So,
sorry, go ahead.
That is a teleport going up to the higher floor. It's a parachute platform, so you can go upstairs and parachute over the campus Hamburg.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Is that the conclusion? Is there? Does anybody have any questions? Is there something that somebody would like to ask? It's relatively quiet. Well, I appreciate, and I especially appreciate you filling in on short notice. That's very gracious of you. It's interesting. You've obviously done a lot of work. I mean, I see a great deal of building that's gone on and a lot of thought that's gone into it.
Yes.
So we appreciate your effort, and we have to move on then to our next speaker.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.